Hello everybody, hello. Hope you're all doing well. It's time to talk. Let's get down to business. Let's talk about Lilly and Jack Sullivan. Hold on a minute, something screwed up with my audio mixer. There it is. Whatever. Nothing seems to be going right. Whoa. Just need to knock the system over. Nothing seems to be going right this week electronically. I don't know if you're experiencing it, but I am. I don't know if it's solar flares. I don't know what it is, but the energy is off. So we've all been focused in the Jack and Lilly Sullivan case at the time they were reported missing. We've all been focused at the house or trailer, the property of Janie. We've all focused on Janie. We've all focused on Daniel. We've all focused on Malaya. We've looked at every single angle, except we really need to think about the one thing that tells me something changed at this moment that was life-altering. And when did that happen? Hey, Adrienne, good to see you. Good to see you. So we are live. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. Mama D in the house. I have on my favorite shirt. Seriously, what the duck? I wore it for today because that's where I'm at in this case with the little ones, because Lilly and Jack deserve so much better than this. Hey, Rach, not that Rach, and Allison. Rach is redoing her bathroom, so she said it's being torn apart. Hello, my lovely Debbie. Hey Viv, hello. So you guys, let's talk. Hey Dragonfly Lover, good to see you. Jenny Bill is here. She's in a laundry nightmare. It's Chris on my wife's account. Well, you're welcome to stay whatever you're doing there. All right. I want to hear your thoughts today. I want to involve you in just a conversation. Let's just get real. Something indeed changed, and when it changed is imperative. I need some lotion, darling. Oh, I shot it across my keyboard. Oh, I told you everything's gone wrong this week. I literally just shot lotion across my keyboard. You're going to have to wait a minute. You're just going to have to wait a minute. Okay, I got to get something to clean it up. Hold on. I have got lotion everywhere, and I don't know what buttons I'm pushing, trying to get it off. It hit all the number keys, like this key. I'm telling you, the energy is off. It's just off. Everything's off. And I think the energy was off. Okay. Almost good as new. And now the dogs are going. So... Hey Sophie, welcome to the channel. Let's get into this. Let's get serious. Oh, I've got it all over my table. Anybody need some extra lotion? I've got plenty. Squeaky chair and all. Hey Cindy Clark. Hey Mama. How are you? Marlene Ring. Good to see you all, my lovelies. So, in the Lilly and Jack Sullivan case, something changed. Think about what we had. We had a rundown property that had a nasty mattress in the yard, utility, like an oven or a washer or something out in the yard, tore apart, pieces of it here, pieces of it there. The entire property was in disarray. But we have all these, like humans are creatures of habit. No matter what your economic level is, whether you're poor, you're rich, or you're somewhere in between there, we are naturally creatures of habit. So we tend to do things in a repetitive way. And it's very hard for us to get out of a routine that we're used to. And the older we get, the harder it seems, to get out of those routines. But that changed. Before Jack and Lilly are reported missing, this changes. Let me explain what I'm talking about. Thought I'd wet my whistle before we go. Hey, Diesel Weasel. Good to see you, Carla. Good to see ya. Yoko. Hey, Trina. Hello, both of you. Okay, I'll have to check out Daphne's case files. Dragonfly Lover says, new article out. Malia speaks. Daphne posted it on People's Magazine, I believe. I will definitely check that out. So, I told you, we have their normal life. It's in total disarray. There is nothing that they give a crap about out in that yard. Nothing. But when Lily and Jack are no longer on camera at whatever time that was, between 2 and 3 o'clock, from that point forward, at some point these kids disappeared. And so we have to look for a change in the routine. That's what we really need to look at if we're looking on timeline. When did things start getting different? Like all of a sudden, we've got Daniel. As soon as they get home, he starts setting fence. Since when does Daniel set fence? He isn't even worried about the appliances in the yard until after Jack and Lily. So they begin this whole, and it's not just that night. It's like something of a switch gets flipped. They come home from that journey in town where the camera picks up the kids for the very last time ever, never do we hear anybody else seeing those kids after they're on camera at that time. You can say, well, Daniel says he saw them, or you could say, well, Malaya says she heard them, or you could say, Janie said this. But if they're all three in this together, it negates all of their statements because they're each other's alibis, and it's just a big circle jerk off. Right? Yes, Dee, these children are still missing. It's been a long time. So for those of you that are new to Jack and Lily's case, they were reported missing on May 2nd of this year. And we still don't know where they are. But now, let's continue on with this idea. So all of a sudden, not only does Daniel become, fix-it Tom and start doing repairs around the property at that moment, and then continues to do so to the point that he's staining the chicken coop and painting this green fence and decorating this and fixing new swings. And it's like that was the defining moment. They get back from the trip after the kids are seen last on camera, and all of a sudden Daniel has snapped out of his lazy, no good self, and he's actually motivated like Tim the Toolman guy, right? He's Mr. Fix-It. So if it was just Daniel, that'd be one thing. But then we also now have a mother and a son. Oh, I know, Daniel. Let's go ahead and I'll rake the driveway and fill all the potholes, and we'll start caring about our property right now. Meanwhile, we have, I don't care what they said they fed the kids at 3 or 4 o'clock. Your kids don't go the whole damn night without eating. We've got no food missing from that house that night or that morning before these kids go missing. So no food is missing? That don't work that way. So if you looked at it, you and I both know, without being an investigator, that every single day and night that those children were in that home, food was used, food was given, food disappeared. But we have no account of food disappearing at all from the home in any way for the first time ever. No food needed. You don't need food to feed children if you got no kids. You feel me? Aw, Jack's birthday, his 5th birthday, is allegedly on Wednesday the 29th, candlelight vigil at Starlington RCMP office. How sweet. See, I personally don't believe the children are alive. I don't think Jack is alive. So for me, it would be a vigil, but it wouldn't be a birthday because the child's not here to celebrate their birthday. And so they're forever 4 years old. Jack will be forever 4, forever young until he's found, in my book. But thank you for sharing for all of us. Daniel just trying to cover up his crap. All right, so they're on camera. And then there's this missing timeline. We have no idea what occurred on the way home. We've never heard the story of what took place on the way home. Nothing. Not like, well, it was pretty much a quiet drive. I gave the kids a cheese stick. Or it was hellacious. The kids were fighting like cats and dogs. Malaya was trying to drive. You know, I had the baby between them. Nothing. We hear nothing. Because they don't want the focus on that time. That little window of time is the most important in my opinion, because the only proof, and it's not even very good proof, that these children were on that property that day is the boot print in the driveway, which could have been fabricated. Otherwise, all we have is the circle jerk of Malaya, Daniel, and Janie saying it. The fact that Daniel, after a long day out in town with the kids and the fam and all that, comes home and wow, he just got this ambitious, I'm going to start repairing our property and take value of it that night, is a huge change. Everything changes the moment they get home. First time ever, like I said, no food's gone, not at night, not in the day. There are no baths given, but teeth are brushed. See, the story don't work. You're going to make your kids brush their teeth, but put them to bed in the same clothes they wore all damn day? What? Whatever. No, it was as if, okay, once we get home, whatever just happened back there, right? And remember, Malaya already knows to call these kids in the morning before she lays eyes on them. So it did happen the night before. Daniel's already getting on the yard trying to clean the place up. Janie's out there being like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to cover up some tire tracks with this rake or something, right? So you have all three of the parents actually actively doing something different than they have any other time. Janie allegedly not calling Malaya when she heard the kids for the first time ever. See, it all changed. It all changed. From the second that their feet hit their own property and they returned home from that trip, everything was different. All of a sudden, Daniel is more interested in taking care of the property. Janie's out there with them. No food goes missing for these kids. They're playing outside. Oh yeah, we got them something to eat when we were in town. What at 3 o'clock? And you think that's going to last your kids past 6? No, there's not even, as Daniel said, a yogurt cup missing. Now, we also have this all of a sudden, Daniel returning in the morning from his search. So at that point, if RCMP see, as he put it, used Malaya's vehicle to go look for the kids, the question is, were the kids actually in that vehicle still from the night before? And did he dispose of them when he went to look for them? Not in the very middle of the night, but in the early morning hours. They would dispose of them when he was driving around, looking in the culverts, looking in this, looking in that. Where would he have went? Where did he go looking? Did he go looking in a direction where he knew there was a mine shaft? Did he go looking somewhere? We have no timeline. Daniel never says, I started looking for the kids at this time. Now, let's take in consideration that we're finding out that these kids, according to Janie's newest thing in the RCMP paperwork, if she talked to her brother at 8:48, she is saying in that paperwork these kids may have been missing before that. So you see, you got Mama calling them in, Janie knowing well before, and if it's before 8:30 that the kids are missing, then you're missing an hour and a half of time that Daniel could have been driving around and just claimed he was looking for the kids. And so RCMP, who don't seem to want to solve this because they're gaslighting us with this bullshit that they're doing by throwing out this information that these two guys, these two neighbors heard and seen, right? One of them heard Daniel several times. The other one seen the headlights. But then after we all get into it and we're like, okay, we can trust the RCMP. If they said the neighbors saw something, well, then we're going with it. We start diving in, but no, we've been gaslit by the RCMP. Because now they're saying, we checked all the cameras and that didn't happen. So when, to the RCMP, I'm asking, was the first time that Daniel was caught on camera while he was looking for the kids? Because if those children met their demise, and I don't know how, maybe they got into rugs, maybe they were left alone in the car and they thought it was candy and they ate it and they both died in the car, because Malaya's car got towed away. Like, no more, not investigated, no cadaver dogs got in. They basically looked in Malaya's car and didn't see kids and were like, they're not here, let's keep looking. So Malaya's car was never investigated. Aw, I'm so glad you got alive too, Liz. RCMP dropped the ball on this one from day one, in my opinion, and haven't picked it up since. Right, Viv? I mean, once they realize that they're saying the kids are basically no longer alive in the very beginning, they should have started a homicide investigation. Because the kids aren't alive, but you haven't found them, so there's questions to be had. You got no food missing. Why would you have kids at that house that didn't eat? At this point, somebody could be like, well, maybe they left because they were starving. Right? They hadn't been fed since 3 o'clock the day before. These are little kids. Come on. Marissa says, Wong has been on lives talking, and you know the RCMP is listening. Well, and that's why I'm saying, why is the RCMP gaslighting us by releasing information that suggests that these two separate individuals, neighbors, heard Daniel's vehicle all over the place that night, but RCMP said, nope, never happened. We didn't see it. Hey, Kelly, welcome back. So we were gaslit, and I felt toyed with. I felt like the RCMP is like, let's just start giving them our information because they're doing better than we are. I don't know. Maybe because, like, don't you know, they're all like, on the computer all the time. We got no experience in this, dude. We don't know how to find we don't know how to find nobody. We're not going to solve this. We're going to have to let them do the job. Hey, I know we'll start leaking clues. If they get it wrong, like, we'll have to give them more, dude. But they're going to do better than we are. So, I mean, right? Crack my beer for me. Gaslighting from every single angle. Right, right, Diesel Weasel. I felt gaslit completely by the RCMP. And I'm actually pissed off about it. It is so doggone confusing. Hey, Polly Livingston Sloan. House music. I felt like I need to sing it. Nick UK Kids failed again. Neglect at its finest. Yeah, absolutely. So, all of a sudden everything changed. Not that morning at 10 o'clock. Or even 8 or 9:30. But much earlier, things were different. And because of that, that means something had altered this entire flow of their lives. So we have them returning back And all of a sudden, Daniel and Janie are doing home improvements, right? Like the home improvement show. Janie isn't calling Malaya in the morning when she hears them. Now, I heard a live one time where Janie swore, where she was on that phone call, and it was like in this little group. She said at one point in that, I seen them kids with my own eyes. I swear to God I did. But she changed it the next time. And she's never told RCMP or anybody that again. So we know she lies. We know Daniel lies. And we know Malaya left the very next day. Didn't even look back. She's like, well, this is done and over. I can't do anything about it. I can't fix it. I'm out of here. So what happened on the way home? What really happened? And did you look at the places? If you were to drive home from the location that they were at and drive right to Lansdowne on Garlick Road, what places do you pass? Did you see all the little places? And you'd be like, oh, well, it would show up on her GPS. She didn't have GPS. Remember, she had to use her phone. So all she'd have to do if they wanted to go do something with that vehicle is, oh my gosh, look what happened while we were in the store. We left the kids in the car. They got into some rugs. They're not okay anymore. We got to figure this out. I'm going to drop your butt right here, and I'm going to keep driving, and I'm going to drop these kids off over here. Put a marker in the tree so I know where I left them. Could that be the blanket tied there? We're going to leave them here, and then we're going to head home. You see? There's things to get away with it. They could have easily have deposited the bodies in a staging area to wait for them at a later time. Daniel is unaccounted for most of the day. He says he was in the woods looking. You'd think they'd have their eyes on him, but he even is alone on them trails unwatched. Because Daniel and Janie and Justin pick him up, and he's alone. So he wasn't being watched. It's just really, really strange. And did anybody go search those areas? I'm talking not over here where the blanket is, but maybe on the way home, the opposite direction of Papa Earl's. See, it makes sense then if all the evidence is planted to look like the children went to Grandma and Grandpa's Earl's, because that's what they do on the weekends. So we'll just string evidence along to make it look that way, but they're never going to find anything because the kids aren't that direction. They're in the other way. They're in the way where they were returning back from town, and as they got closer, they deposited the children's body somewhere, just as a staging area, till they could get back, maybe in the morning, when they said, like, okay, so they're driving home, and they're like, oh my God, this really did happen. We've got to do something. They're both to blame, right? They're both left the children unattended. They're both as guilty as the other, so forth. So they can't really tell on each other. They both got skin in the game. All right. They're driving home. They're getting close enough to home where they know a property is not going to be searched before morning. They can get to it at 6 a.m., retrieve the bodies, put them back in Malaya's car, and on they go. Or simply leave the kids in the back of a vehicle. And then when it's light out and you can look around to where you're going to deposit the children, you could say you were actually searching for them, and that would explain your car, and you'd go every different direction, right? But really, that first direction that you take, you're going to go away from the direction that you want them to search. So you're going to go back towards town. That's the direction they should have focused on. That's where they should be focusing, is the direction that Malaya and Daniel came to return home, because they all change. Everything changes. There's no food missing. There's no bedtime scenario. Oh, Malaya made them brush their teeth and put them to bed without food. And oh, maybe she fed them. Okay, what? What did she feed them? Because you knew everything missing, Daniel, but you weren't in the house when she would have fed them. So how would you know unless there was no food missing? You feel me? Aw, Liz, thank you, lovely, for the $5 Snooper Chat. That is so kind of you. Kelly, Daniel wasn't searching. In my opinion, he was hiding and up to something bad. That's what I'm saying. The only time that we have that Daniel could have hid these children, if we go by the gaslighting RCMP, is when he went to look for them. And he's already given away that he was out there looking for them for much, much longer than he's saying, because the car and him went to every single culvert, every single stream, every single little brook, every single little this, and he was completely all over the place. He made it back in time to barely start walking up the driveway when the RCMP were there. So, that is the person, not Malaya. She wouldn't have had a chance to get rid of kids, because Janie, watchdog Janie, would have heard Malaya doing all kinds of crap. She would have heard the kids. Remember, Lily's always screaming according to Janie. That's all Janie ever hears. No, this whole change in, and like, you know, Tim the Tool Man, Daniel the Tool Man, deciding that, oh, I'm going to do all these home improvements and fix this place up, like right now. Janie, Mom, get a rake, start fixing the driveway. We've got to make this look, like, get rid of all my tracks and everything. So if that is the truth, if they came home and those kids were passed away in that car, the kids, even if the dogs alerted in Malaya's car, so what? They're just scent dogs. The kids had been in the car for hours. So of course the dogs would alert. Even if the dogs were like, somebody's dead here, we wouldn't know it because they're scent dogs. No cadaver dogs ever sniffed out Malaya's car. Not once. So those kids could have laid in that vehicle in a tote, because that's what all these bad parents seem to do, and then been disposed of much earlier, much earlier, and much further away in an opposite direction. And the rest of the time, it was all they were doing is trying to lead us by the nose with fake planted evidence towards Earl's property to suggest that the kids must have walked out there on their own, got lost, we just couldn't find them. You know? Proper English tea. I'm looking for something. I wanted to see what Kelly said. Somebody's like, 100% Kelly. Oh, I did read it. Okay. I wanted to make sure I read it. Thank you, Liz, again. Thank you. Aw, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, lovely. RCMP never should have let anyone search other than the police. I agree. Because they covered up. Not even a drink before bed from 3 o'clock. Grass monster. There was no need. Those children never made it home alive. They are passed away in that vehicle. There's no food missing. There's nothing missing except for time. And the only time that Daniel has to get rid of these babies is in the morning, when he says he is driving around searching for them. And he's got plenty of time then to me, it's not bizarre that they haven't found the kids, because if your keys are, hanging on the hook in the kitchen, but all you do is search the living room, it's not strange that you don't find them. If anything, the RCMP need to get their head out of their ass and go look in a different place. I mean, if you bump your head against the wall long enough to realize that that wall ain't moving, do you think maybe you should pivot? The RCMP needs to start thinking of this as a criminal case to solve it. Think like a criminal. Get invested in the case instead of this whole bull crap of gaslighting us with little trickles of information and then pull it back from us, inside us, and be like, hey, neighbors are the ones that heard Daniel leaving that property. Not once, not two, not one neighbor, but two. Not once, but several times. They even saw the lights over the trees. What do y'all think of that? Then wait a couple weeks and go, oh, by the way, no cameras back up anything they're saying. Okay, then you've got two suspects that absolutely lied and can be charged with falsifying information, and there's your criminal case. Do something. Shake the damn trees, right? Shake the bushes. But look in a different way. These kids were last seen here. Then take your team, divide them in half, and put this half over there where they were last seen, and work your way backwards. Put these over here on this property, and instead of going towards the one boot print you got on the pipeline that the dogs didn't even hit on, the dogs didn't hit on the blanket, the dogs didn't hit on the water bottle, then the kids didn't have any of that shit. That was just picked up around the house and thrown out there by Daniel and Justin and Malaya and anybody else that wanted to make it look like that. And if they're one of them is lying, they all are. All of them. Not just Janie, not just Daniel, not Malaya, but if one of them is lying, they all are. They could not have pulled it off separately behind the other person's back. There's too many, that'd be too many working parts. But when they've all lied or done something so strange as to desert their own children within 24 hours of them not being seen, there's more to it. There's definitely more to it. And the other thing, Dragonfly Lover says, I feel so blessed that you're covering this case, Mama D. Thank you so much, from a local 15 minutes away. I've been on this case since the beginning, too, lovely. Diesel Weasel, I feel like they were sold. Okay, so let's go with that theory for a minute. Let's say that Daniel and Malaya just don't care. She'd have to be at that point, right? Just, I don't even care what you do with the kids. I just need some money. All right. So let's pretend that there's some sort of a meeting between home and where they came from, where they left town, and they sell the kids. All right? They hand the kids off right there and they keep going. Fine. Then that means that the RCMP are still not going to find them kids, and that's how Daniel could guarantee it. If the kids were anywhere in the woods, Daniel could not guarantee it. And he is confident you're not going to find them kids in them woods. Because I think Daniel is smart enough not to shit in his own sandbox. You feel me? They both know. They all know. I think Janie is absolutely bold-faced lying. I think she was gone that night. She rags on and on about how she's a hermit. She never leaves her house, blah, 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 blah. But yet she does leave her house. She goes to town with her brother and other things. It's very possible, from what we heard from Durwood, if there's anything I believe, is that Janie was seeing someone. And that she wasn't even there that night. I think she was brought back in the evening and because of this situation, and she made up the rest of it. She was like, I'll say I heard him. Daniel's like, I'll say I saw Lily. Malaya's like, I'll say I heard him. And that way they're all three keeping themselves out of bounds. And those polygraph tests, if they were so damn reliable, they'd be administered and be used in court, but they're not, because you can get false positives, you can get false negatives, and even if they passed them, it doesn't mean that they actually told the truth. It means they passed a polygraph. It doesn't mean they told the truth. Fact. Rise, Tall and Beauty says, everywhere, everything, everyone has been searched. We need to look at that pink blanket. It has nothing on it. So it would just be the location of it. It's been sent off forensic testing for months. They have nothing. It doesn't even have the scent of the children. Neither did the boot print or the water bottle. Dogs didn't even acknowledge it. So it tells me those are planted items found after the fact to insinuate, look over here, and boy, has that worked, right? That could be. Rise, Tall, and Beauty says that blanket, in my opinion, is a marker for a sign saying it's done. That very well could be. Sharon Colin Wildfire, hello, lovely. You say exactly. Diesel Weasel says, yes, Bonnie, it was as though he was trying to figure out how they had not found what had been planted. Hey, Cindy Clark, is there no way Jay gonna leave dog alone unless she takes her with him? Well, and that's possible. I mean, so what? She took her dog with her. I take my dogs all the time and go places. Grass Monster says Janie goes to town every week except that week. She turned down a ride to town before the kids allegedly went missing. Right. Exactly. I thought the dogs led them to the footprints. No, the dogs did not lead them to the footprints. There were other people that were searching with children in their group that found that footprint, the blanket, and so forth. Yeah, he keeps referring to it as evidence. Daniel wants us to believe that that's evidence. Daniel and Jeannie want us to go that direction. They want us to go this way, over here, by Earl's, by the tree, by the pipeline. Go that direction. Look, everything's over this way. But that is not where they come home from. And all the change in their life, miraculous, life-changing energy entered Daniel. Right? He exorcised the demons and started cleaning up his yard. And Jenny was like, well, let me help. I'll get a rake. I'll be over here and I'll get rid of all the tracks and evidence of everything over here. That was all new to them. They're not them kind of people. You can tell. Look at the damn yard. CPS had already told them, if you want to keep these kids, you got to clean this place up, make it safe. Did they do it? No. But they did it the night before the kids go missing? Or did something happen on that trip home? Yeah. And they were like, holy shit, this place is going to be crawling with searchers, investigators, and we need to shake this place up, right? All of a sudden they got a new revived view of, oh my golly, we better get this place looking somewhat decent or we're probably going to be charged with shit. And if them kids did pass away in that car, and then when Daniel took Malaya's car, remember, he didn't drive his own, he didn't touch that four-wheeler. Daniel's never touched my four-wheeler. I've never ever let Daniel touch my four-wheeler. No, because he was driving Malaya's car, which is impounded conveniently and taken away without even being checked for evidence. So if the kids could have laid in that damn car all night long, right? Until it was time for Daniel to go real far away, the opposite direction from Earl's, and go the direction that they came from town, go far, far away towards that way. He could have got rid of the bodies and they could still be wherever he dropped them, in whatever mine shaft or whatever culvert or whatever, water fall he happened to know about on the way there. And he knows that property. He grew up there. He knows that property like the back of his own hand. Yeah. The blanket was found by the half-sister that planted it, and the boot print was found by searchers that were walking along that had their own children. I know, made my throat sore doing imitating Janie. It's terrible. Hi, Divine Guidance Tarot. I just sent your cards out, love, this morning. Y'all, I went to the post office yesterday on Sunday. I'm in the United States, by the way. Never in my life has the post office ever been open on Sunday, but I got my days mixed up. So I have all my orders, like this huge thing of orders, and I go and I can't get in the post office. I'm like, but why can't I get in? And I have to look at my phone. I'm like, oh, it's Sunday? So I took them all back up there this morning and did ship them out. Mary Dalmatian, good to see you. Don't believe Daniel stayed in the car with the kids. Malaya did 6 weeks of washing. No. Mm-mm. Well, and it won't be solved if they don't get their head out of their butt and go look at a new place between the location they were at in town and the home. I agree, Polly, I agree. But that blanket, it could be a marker to say it's all done, right? Bodies have been, coast is clear, everything's planted. Well, and that's, Kelly, you've got a great point. Right where that boot print is, that's where Daniel is all by him lonesome that morning, right? Daniel and Justin just happened to pull up on the four-wheeler. Come on, buddy, get on. No, you can't drive. You can never drive our four-wheeler. Just hop on the hood. We'll get you out of here. Good job, buddy, planting that boot print. Did you get the blanket tied up? Did you throw a water bottle out? All right. Well, then let's just all go back home and we'll just act all worried. So much time has passed with this. May end like Summerwell's case. There is no ending, right? There's no ending. It just is an open void. Rhonda, good to see you joining so late, but watching from the beginning. Well, thank you, lovely. Welcome to my world. Turn the music up loud. Hey, Paula Walla Ding Dong. I've never heard your name before. Good afternoon. That is a great name. I love that name, Paula Walla Ding Dong. You guys have some amazing names. Hey, Marlene Ring. Good to see you. So, let's start focusing on that missing time. What do I mean? We don't have a thing about the trip home. Nothing. We don't know what they did. We don't know anything about that. But all I know is if those kids did pass away in that car, Malaya's car got towed away and never got inspected, not one cadaver dog near it. Nobody was suspected a thing. And if these children passed away from rugs, there would have been no blood or anything. And they could have laid in that car in a container all night long. And if that's true, and then Daniel used Malaya's car to go search for the kids, but really deposited them, that could explain why Malaya let her car get towed away to the impound and didn't give a crap. Like, not only do you leave your kids behind, but you also left your car behind. You just didn't give a shit no more. You're just like, I'm so over this whole day. Like, my gosh, last night we were on the way home, lost my kids in the car. So, now I have to give up my car too. It's just, I'm just going to take the baby and run. Right? She never ever really got emotional. What does it take for Malaya to get emotional? If you don't even know how to show emotion when your kids are missing. The closest thing that we've ever had from emotion from Malaya is her saying, we're all filled with sorrow. That's it. And if there was one of them lying, if Jamie is lying, if Daniel's lying, or Malaya's lying, if you believe any one of those people are lying, then they are all lying. That's a fact. They can't just one of them be kind of full of shit. No, that would make them all full of shit. Daniel, that's not Lily's blanket. Oh yeah, it is Lily's blanket. Oh, now there were 2 blankets. What about the sweaters? If they find 2 sweaters that are mine, well, that's because somebody's trying to frame me. I thought your kids were just missing. What do you mean people are trying to frame you? You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? Right. Exactly, Runs with Scissors. Good to see you. Filled with pain and sorrow. That's the closest to emotion that mother ever shared with anyone that we saw. Yeah. Could there be a burner phone? Rise Tolan Beauty says, and a burner phone as to why no one has been caught. Could be. Yeah. Sorrow is not what I'd use if my kids were just now missing. That is not what I'm thinking about. Freaking out, panic, anxiety. What happened to them? Who has them? Are they hurt? Everything about them, all about them, not what I'm feeling. Nobody's going to go on the first 24 hours and be like, here's how I'm feeling with my kids gone. We're all feeling pain. No, you're not going to give a crap about how you feel. You won't talk about how you feel. You don't care how you feel. You can't even put into words how you feel because your children are unaccounted for and some whack job might be doing something horrific. Okay? So at that point, you feel panic, you feel anxiety, you feel scared to death, but you don't feel pain and sorrow until after you find out what happened to your children and you can do nothing about it. Then you feel pain, then you feel sorrow. There's a grieving process and it takes time. So if something had happened the night before on the way home, by Sunday, Malaya has a chance to realize there's nothing she can do to fix this one. This done happened. And it was on her and Daniel's watch together. So Janie's going to throw Malaya as far as she can under the bus. But at the same time, she can't just throw her hardcore under the bus because she's also Jamie's protecting Daniel. So in a sense, Malaya's going to get a free alibi. But they all have to be in it together, and there has to be skin in the game. In other words, Malaya has something to lose, and Daniel has something to lose. If these children got into rugs when these two weren't paying no attention, then they both have something to lose. And they could each turn to the other and say, I'll say it was you. Daniel could have said, I'm going to tell him it was your fault. Malaya says, no, it was your fault. And they're going to both go down for it. And so rather than both go down for it, they're going to keep their mouth shut. They're going to get Jamie to lie like they are and say that those kids were on that property in the morning when there's no proof. There's not even food missing. There's not food missing. Kelly says, how come Malaya didn't let her take Meadow and stay to help find her children? In my opinion, she knew and wanted to run. She's guilty as well. And she left that car. Not only did she not stay, okay, check this out. Not only did she not stay and try to find her children, rent a motel in the area, stay, with the RCMP under their tent, whatever, because are you really going to sleep anyway? Just stay at that tent, right, till your children are found. All right, but she just didn't give a shit about her car either. Like, we loaded up Malaya's car. Malaya didn't want that car. There was something psychologically that Malaya was like, I just got that car and it's all new and everything, and I don't plan to come back here ever. But I'm just going to leave the car behind too. I don't really want the car anymore. Why? Why don't you want your car anymore? Hey, angels. Good to see you. Hell on Heels says, when did Malia's car get towed to a junkyard? The very next day. Yeah, it was on the 3rd, I believe. Either the night of the 2nd or the 3rd. It was gone very early on. Logan talked about it. Ricky TB, hello. You say, I think rugs were involved on Thursday. The reason why, details were missing and the fence wasn't finished. Boom, boom, boom. Carla says, no, she was at the bar on the beach drinking. Sorry, I didn't finish it. Okay. Some of you do believe that Malaya somehow swiped these 2 kids out of there and got them hidden on a res. Okay, hold on a minute. The whole point to hiding the children would be so that CPS didn't take Meadow, right? So why not hide Meadow too? Why is Meadow also not missing, right? So I don't see how that works. Because she ended up losing Meadow. She has nothing left to lose. Why not speak up then? But that didn't happen that way. Because I believe something happened on that way home. Mark's World, welcome back. Good to see you. Trail Hiker, yes, they would both have something to lose if it were rugs. Or they sold them. Both kids are Caucasian looking, a boy and a girl, brother and a sister. The kids could fetch. Well, I won't read that last part, but yeah, I feel you. I feel you. All right, my lovelies. That's what I wanted to talk about. I really think we as a community, as a true crime community, know damn well those kids are not in the woods. We can all agree on that. I don't think anybody believes that those kids are anywhere near the woods. I mean, not even a hint of a scent on the blanket, the bottle, the water bottle, or the boot print out on the pipeline. Nothing. That's all planted shit to get us to go that way. So let's go looking the other way. Let's get RCMP woke the hell up and start looking at this as a criminal case and start heading back towards town. And I'm talking 10 miles, not just this little 5 square mile kilometer bullcrap. Like, get it going on all the way back to town. And yeah, that's going to be a search. But if you want to find these kids, you need to dig in deep. All right, my lovelies, let's go ahead and get ready. I am going to be live over on Crime Story Mama, and I do appreciate you. And I hope you'll join us over there. And I will see you again very soon. A lot of people are leaning towards possibly being sold. Rise Tolner Beauty says, nailed it, Mama D. Woohoo! Have a good one, Lisa, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Nikki UK. Thank you, Aegis Jennyville, Mark's World, Bonnie, Heels on Wheels, Rach. I don't know how many more there are of you. Diesel Weasel, Bib, if I didn't name you, I'm so sorry. Mr. Hemi First Speed, pretty sure it got towed to the res. Never investigated. Malaya's car is the key, in my humble opinion. Love you guys. To the moon and back. Say a prayer for Lilly and Jack. See you again soon.